Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 8:55 a.m. Yes, I'm up early. Went to bed early last night too, by about 9:18 p.m. I was very tired. But yeah, I had another rough night with my bladder situation, normal. So I feel a bit run over by a truck this morning, but I thought, chin up, shoulders back, boobs out, carry on, Tanya. So here we are, another day in paradise. It's a beautiful day outside. I've put Charlie out in the sunshine so she can talk to her wild birdie boyfriend that seems to be coming around quite regularly to Twitter pater at her. Sweetness. Yeah. True love is for the birdies, people. But they are polyamorous, so I fear that she'll get her heart broken. You know how it is. But anyway, she's not really letting him get too close or really engaging with him too much. And if he gets too close when I'm out in the garden, she runs and climbs up on my shoulder and stares at him. Just say, "You can't get me, I'm with my mummy." So he flies right over the top of my head to let me know that if he wanted to, he could get to her. We, in typical female warrior goddess armouring, just ignore the horny little basket, right? But he is cute. Yesterday I was lying in the hammock and Charlie was up in the tree and he came with his mate this time. I think it was his mate. There was two of them. And they were twittering around and checking her out. And she stayed in the tree but like a few metres away and kept sort of peering at them. She doesn't trust them as far as she can throw them. And frankly, I don't blame her. But yeah, at least his mate's okay. He's been coming on his own for the past week, which is highly unusual. That's why I thought he had serious intentions of making my little birdie a mummy bird, but no, she won't let him get near her. Chip off the old block, she is. Out of necessity, really, more than anything else. Anyway, today we continue with my readings of even date, 22nd of February 2024, and it's entitled Memories of a Love That Was Atrophied by Sabotage, Onwards and Upwards, I Heal Myself. And the old, this is from, the photo is from 2021. The old chandelier is refracting the sunset. La vie en rose, à la Desiree, which is my middle name, people. I have a whimsical joke with myself being named Desiree, which is French for the desired one. Well, I seem to be very much desired in recent months at the Brooklyn Standard. Some of the fellows have lost their minds over me. All I've done is show up and keep dancing, which is what I do every weekend. But it's delightful, and I'm enjoying the sweetness. Oh, my eyes are a bit sore. Yes, I'm enjoying the sweetness and the attentions, and as long as it doesn't get too out of control, I guess everything's fine. 22nd of February 2023. I just downloaded Lies My Government Told Me by Dr. Robert Malone. It's available free, which reminds me, I downloaded it but I didn't get round to reading it. Here it is a year later. I need to read that book. It's available free on Kindle via amazon.com.au until the 28th of February 2023. I wonder if it's still in my, because I don't really have Kindle. I don't even know if I've still got that book. But anyway, I will buy it. I will buy it one day. It's an important read. I also downloaded the real Anthony Fauci, but the third title, Causes Unknown by Ed Dowd, was not available free. However, I saw his interview on a podcast and will consider buying his book when my funds allow. We as a nation need to keep adhering to truth, free speech, and educate ourselves on the malfeasances of our current COVID epoch. We need to fight back the fifth generation psyops, the malignant silencing and censoring, and the genocide of our time. I received a very unhappy news. Yesterday I was intuiting that I was going to get some news of some kind, and I thought it would be joyful, happy news. No, I received the most horrifying news that a very, very dear friend of mine, one of my earth angels, and a woman who has been very loving to me and actually bought me my air conditioner and amongst many other things, has gifted me immensely over many years, was deathly ill recently and is awaiting the results to see if she has cancer. Had to have her ovary and fallopian tubes removed, and they think she may have to go back in and have her gallbladder removed as well. So I was utterly devastated and horrified. And so I'm sending her a great deal of healing and positive energy and wanting the best outcome for her. And I pray that all the cancer was removed so she has a chance to heal her body and get back to her normal, robust, healthy, strong, hockey playing, usual mean. But it's been a great shock both to her having to experience that and me to receive that news. And I'm quite frightened, quite frankly, because turbo cancers is a thing since the program we were forced to endure for the last 4 years, right? I tell you what, nothing better happened to her. I will go berserk. I don't know what I'll do about it. There'll be nothing I can do about it, but there will be some berserk rantings and ravings going on for months because I will be livid. Most beautiful, kind, sweet, generous, honouring soul struck down by this malignancy. But she will heal because I demand it of the gods. And I told her she's a very healthy, robust person before this happened. And she has much strength and mana in her heart and soul and body even. And I'm certain she will bounce back from this. But, that fucking sword of Damocles hanging over every human's head on this planet, since this is utterly terrifying, people. Utterly terrifying. We need to create a fair, equitable, decent, honourable, global society. We need to love ourselves and each other enough to work towards this goal. Otherwise, we are doomed as a species. Indeed we are. We must love each other and ourselves so completely that we allow no invasions of our body, mind and spirit ever again in the name of our globalist government dictates. My poor darling, who's been so very, very ill, had to go back to work today after only a week. It's heinous. That should not be happening to her, that she has to rush back into work. She told me that luckily because she is working in a very excellent job, mind you, because she works at a higher echelon in our society, has a very high paying, wonderful job. But so the pressure is immense, by the way. I'm upset because I don't want her to have to go back to work so quickly when she's been so deathly ill. But anyway, she said that the cost of her operation was $25,000, but it was covered by the work medical insurance, which is one blessing, I suppose. But by the gods, you know. February 22nd, 2022. Ha! I went to Supercheap and bought the jerry can and an extra funnel I did not actually need. Then stopped at the petrol station, filled the jerry can. I got home, filled the lawnmower tank. Punkt, it starts raining. Are you serious? I guess the mowing can wait another day. It isn't due until Thursday, but I wanted to get in early and try out my new machine, lol. Today, 22nd of February 2022. Oh dear goddess. Marks the 8th year since I met the man who I fell rather stupidly in love with. Well, it's 10 years now, isn't it? But anyway, I haven't had him really cycling around my energy for a few years now, so it's well and truly ebbing out as well it should be after all this awfulness he put me through. It also marks, as of the 20th of February, 30 years of friendship with Jared. I ended our friendship on 22nd of January. Yes, we had a bit of a misunderstanding going on about not accepting my phone calls or replying to texts. I flew into one of my characteristic Tanya berserker rages about being ignored. Like, communicate. But he's been very ill this past year, so, you know, there's times when you just go within, and I understand that too. But 32 years Jared and I have been friends as of the 20th of February. 32 years, 35 years with my friend Lynn, 49 years with my friend Margaret and Blaney, and my friend Lynn Robertson in New Zealand I have known since I was 4 years old, so 55 years. By the gods, it's a long time. Long time, a lifetime. So today also is the day my new lawnmower arrives, I hope. It is paid for, so I hope there are no further delays in getting it delivered. It's been a rather stressful time, but I don't have any males in my life to assist me with this task, and the contractors were so obtuse or unreliable it fell to me to take back my power. I hope I can manage the lawn mowing by myself. My hands are very sore with arthritis the past few days. I've been outside to clean my fish pond filter and it hurt to even bend down. My ribs and lower back pinched and ached and it was hard to breathe. But I got the job done. And when the mower arrives, I will make myself get that job done too, as often as my body will allow me. It didn't. It was hopeless. There is no other way but to be an independent woman and fight my way through to get jobs done, even with my poor health. I have been thinking deeply the past few days about all the demonic influences that caused me so much irreparable damage. about the fact that no lovers ever made a true commitment to me and left me floundering for decades in grief and trauma bonding while they went on to have wonderful lives. It's not fair, but it is what it is. I don't know how much longer I can hold on to this life. Too many fake, sadistic people have left me sucked dry like a husk. But the Tanya does what she does best and rides through this horoscope as she has always done, stripped bare and at times fragile, and as one friend pointed out, lonely. Well, I'm not exactly lonely. I have a few good people still in my life, and Beauregard, and Charlie, now just Charlie. So yes, I do get quite lonely these days, from time to time. When I was a teenager, I used to do Ouija board. Yes, really, as I was brought up by occultists and spiritualists, which used their magic as weapons against me, even in infancy. No wonder I was blocked from any real love partners, as everything and everyone was manipulated by something dark and unholy. But when you factor in the psyche-splitting damage from the child's sexual abuse, it is really no wonder I was only ever able to attract more Dybbuk-ridden monsters to eat away at my pristine soul, which even now, they failed to totally consume. The Tanya, with her love of the gods, Adonai in all manifestations, proved harder to annihilate than they expected. Giggles. It seems my guardian angel is one of the hierarchy, or let's be real here, I would not be alive today to moan about my aging body and my arthritis, and my bladder as well. And yes, my survival really does feel like a worse curse or punishment at times. But I digress. One of the regular spirits that used to communicate with me in my adolescence was called the Lonely Jew. They never gave me their actual name, but they often gave me accurate information. They were lost in the sense of being earthbound, and at that time I thought they might have perished in the Shoah, Holocaust. I have had cause to think about them over the years. I wonder now if that lonely Jew person was really my higher self, as only 3 years later I converted to Reform Judaism. Then after arriving in Brisbane at 23, thus began my journey of spiritual martyrdom, as Pam Hopf accused me of being a jackbooted Nazi because my mother is or was German, and thus she annihilated my entire life as I went into a 2-year spiritual, emotional battle to clear my name. Now she moonlights on a page in support of a fellow Manchester woman who had unfairly had her children torn from her. Every time I see her active on there, I feel sick. Her vicious slander led to my marriage breakdown. My marriage was already toxic beyond belief, but that cascade of cumulative trauma put the final death knell on it. I literally had to fight to keep my children. Then 2 years after my divorce, be trapped in a hellish existence as an ex-lover threatened us for 18 months. Not a coincidence or just bad luck, no. It was a deliberately orchestrated terror campaign designed to make me crack so that I would either suicide or go completely mad, and then my evil, perverted, paedophile family members wanted to take my children. They threatened us frequently, so no, I was not paranoid or imagining it. So yes, demonic influences, the gift of their evil hatred and envy of my merest survival, kept giving. David Davidson, who still haunts me from beyond the grave. Another accident? No. A deliberate chipping away and erosion of what is left of my fight for self-determination, true love, and shalom. Ha ha ha, vile dickheads. But he is desperately trying to rectify all his wrongs from the other side of the veil, and let's face it, when he colluded with my mother and her con artist husband Buck Shearer, and broke my heart and my spirit to the point I spent the next 20 years as a shuffling, pharmaceutical-dependent zombie, well, there is a lot that needs to be rectified, and he does not have that power. Only God and my own stubborn, struggling, berserker goddess self does. With my kintsugi'd heart and inflamed arthritis hands and body and weakened lungs and half-eroded spirit, because every battle I had to fight, big or small, took some of my strength and vitality away. And if you ever saw me dancing wildly at the casino or in pubs and clubs, you know that was me blowing life back into my own body, mind and spirit. So I had the temerity, the chutzpah, the guts to fight on another day. Then COVID came and everyone across the globe lost their shit, but not I. I had weathered enough storms. So no, I am not lonely, not in the truest sense, nor am I weak or pathetic, although loving a man incapable of loving me has felt rather soul-destroying and debilitating, and yes, sadistic. But loving him was an awakening for me, a call to my inner soul, that tiny, phosphorescent, psychedelic, beautiful spark of the divine feminine. Adonai didn't do much for me except draw ever more cruel and cold and vapid men into my life, whilst keeping me trapped in a community that betrayed me, besmirched me, and almost brought about my death, not once, but several times. And when I dared stand up to that machinery of debasement and speak my truth, I was screeched at and accused of being a victim by some disgusting creature posing as an Israeli woman. Also, the female psychiatrist who did not have the courage or decency to have my back, that sat through that evil meeting as if sleepwalking. Yes, Brisbane Jewish Board of Deputies, I have not forgotten that evening where I actually bravely turned up in support of the new Holocaust Centre to be brought into existence, only to be vilified and demonized yet again. Ugly and reprehensible, but my Dibbukim no longer recognise or acknowledge your Dibbukim. I am done with evildoers promoting themselves as holy people in the name of Judaism. Frankly, I am done with most humans across all vectors of human experience. Just trying to get my lawns mowed has been fraught. Basic needs and basic human rights. So yes, I know who the lonely Jew is now. That energy came to save me each time some filthy, verminous man attempted to strangle me. They came to stand behind me when I was feeling threatened at Irish Murphy's. One woman even commented that she could see an enormous angel standing right behind me, and I should call upon them for assistance when in danger. I thought it a schizoid fantasy on her part, but indeed, when I needed help in dangerous situations, that entity truly did clear the room very quickly. Now I know. The Holy One is a jealous God. They simply won't permit me a loving life partner. I belong to that energy. And I know the power of my righteous fury and the cleansing mortification of my spirit when I dance wildly and joyously, or when I go to war, because I cannot stand idly by while my neighbour bleeds, or whilst women who walked too close to my path have been forced into spiritual suffering, as had I, for no good reason other than they were born free and owned a vagina. So you know, the lonely Jew who walks with me or is integrated in me is really my higher self, and we paid a huge price for our perceived weakness and loneliness. We were judged by other lesser mortals for our very existence, and we were not found lacking or wanting in courage, cojones, heart or mind, even though there were many years we were driven almost out of our mind while we struggled to raise my children alone and under constant savage attack by my own Jewish community, my family of origin, and by the court system. So here we go, the lonely Jew, me and myself and I. We are one, we are powerful, we are loved by someone far more nurturing than other humans. We are here. Never fuck with the Tanya. 22nd of February 2021. I posted episode 5 of My Spiritual Circle, which is my podcast describing some of my poltergeist or spiritual encounters over the years, which can be found on Anchor on Spotify. If you're interested in listening to my voice, droning on about all my spooky encounters. 22nd of February 2020. Love letter from the void. Dear Tanya, you are yet again immersed in another battle of will over your body. This time it's 12 skin cancers that have fucked your vibe. It's amazing how such seemingly innocuous things can cause such discomfort. But here you are, struggling to slap on more Vaseline on parts of your back that your hands can't reach, and struggling with sleep disorders and the constant craving for love. You crazy, beautiful, but amazingly strong woman, you. We, the gods, have sent you absolutely, stunningly beautiful champions. Your cousin Megan, who checks on you daily, Nigel too, those who stand by silently as this has gone on for so long and we are all so tired. Last night you had a call from Crystal. When you told her about recent events, she just sighed and said, Those people are just not your people and will never be, so you have to find your tribe one day. You wanted to cry, as you know there is no place on earth that will ever truly accept you. It's ghastly. But you have a small tribe of souls that cheer you on and love you in your eccentric, unique and courageous way. That is your blessing in life. We have done another clearing of people who are unkind or try to debase you. You know who truly loves you now and who are just false and callow. Last night, an old grief revisited you about Dave, whom you met 6 years ago. 10 years ago now. You had to laugh when you read through the Facebook memory as already one woman had popped up as a rival. Really, the sabotage had begun almost immediately, but yet you so lovingly and stoically tried to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. I wrote here a pig's ear. A ball. But you loved that one. Even we gods are astounded how you held out in high hopes of true love. We think he loved you too for a while, as he stalked you everywhere. Not in a threatening way, but he certainly kept a dreadlocked hairy eyeball on you, often lurking in the crowd of the casino. But we the gods want you to have a real lover, one that is actually present in your life and doesn't play cruel games. You started to open up last year to the possibility of another man showing up, but he too played you for a fool. Which is kind of interesting, as the same thing happened this last year too. So what is it about the end of the last 3 months of each year when suddenly men will start frottering? It's because Christmas is coming, isn't it? And they're frightened of being alone. Although the last fellow, dumped me just before Christmas, which was kind of rude, but who the fuck cares? A real man doesn't play games like that. A real man sticks with you, kid, if he genuinely has feelings for you. So anyway, now you know that human men are not capable of honouring you, and you know that those who prove that need to be purged like a cancer blistering with liquid nitrogen. Pop, then drain. They have drained you enough. Let them go. And I'm delighting in the sweetness and affections of my friends in the club. I really are. Makes me so happy to be receiving that love from them, even though it can't be consummated, but love is love is love, and I'm accustomed to having to accept the merest scraps of love, so I'm blowing life into it and rejoicing it and turning it into a forest fire of passion, but I'm not doing that because the sweetheart is married. But beware, if I ever conflagrate that love, it could be a tiny bit dangerous, darlings. So I'm behaving. Because I've had to live in the embers and gravel rash of other people's ignoble behaviours for so long. So very, very long. I continue reading. I write in brackets, I hear your spirit fight me on this. You loved him truly. Fight them on letting go, right? But your body is starting to die. And you deserve another joyous, vibrantly beautiful love affair that gifts you with sweetness and happiness and another uprising in your core, because it's life-affirming, people, and a distraction from the feeling of that I'm dying all the fucking time. Because I'm not dying, am I? I'm still carrying on each day, making my videos and dancing wildly and joyously and triumphantly on Fridays, and making bits of jewellery occasionally when the muse is with me, and sitting in my garden with my Charlie reading a book. I'm not dying. I'm floundering and I'm living in the shadow of death, but I'm not dying just yet. But there's days when I do feel like my time is imminent. Let go the carrion feeders that only bring you to the brink of death. Can you? Will you, Tanya? There is no reward in heaven for a life stalemated, interrupted, maladapted, and brutalized by bastards. This is your time. Hold it precious. We have spoken. Love from. I don't name it because God has no name, people. So I just leave that. Love from whoever I'm channeling in that moment. And it's true. My life has been stalemated, interrupted, maladapted, and brutalized by bastards long enough, and there truly is no reward in heaven for that. This is my time to make my life so beautiful, so truly deeply loved and loving, so fucking awesome, so joyous, and so powerful and healing that it literally takes your breath away and my breath away too, but in a good way, like a look at that woman, look at her go. And I wish to be surrounded by people like me who are courageous and honourable and decent and loving and joyous. That's my tribe, people. Not those negative, slithering, vicious, bloodless curs that I invited into my life in the past. Nuh-uh, fool. So, and it's why I'm rejoicing in the sweet romantic overtures from my friends. They're showing me their true hearts and minds and what they're capable of and what they want with me on some level, but, you know, in time, it may manifest, it may not. But the friendship and the joy and the music and the performance art on my part is real, and the love is real, and we're holding each other precious and nurturing what we do have in life, which is our agape love and our protection and our sweetness and our musings and our guidances and our inspirations. We're keeping all of that very fucking sacred indeed, because life is very terrifying out there, and many of us are losing much beloved friends and family members to this. So not one of us knows, you know, how much time we truly have, or how safe we are within our own bodies. So we're wanting to express love for each other and ourselves, so we have some peace and joy and equanimity for the remains of our days on planet Earth. It's that fragile and that delicate, like the gossamer leaves of a dragonfly flying around a garden of hope and desire and peace. Don't waste your life on fucking idiots, people. Don't pour love into fucking idiots like I did with Dave, and before that Courtney and all those other malfeasant fucking dogs. Such a waste of time, heart and energy. But it grew me back, so I can be grateful for that at least. It made me realise what a waste of heart, mind, body and soul I had poured into these creatures. And it also made me realise what I want and desire and deserve in this life, which is someone kind and sincere and authentic and passionate and romantic and devoted to me. Everything those men were not. Just watched Life Itself on Netflix. Powerful, poignant. When love brings you to your knees, get up and each time take your story a little farther to love. It's a quote from that movie. Another line. I craved happiness and stability like a fat person craves chocolate. That describes me to a T, Mama T, and her chocolate. And reaching out to her beloved when she knows it's hopeless, but she finds herself crawling from her gravel-rashed existence, up from her knees, lovingly pushing herself to take her story another step farther for love, no matter how hopeless or how far or unattainable, unfathomable, but always true. No accidents in the multiverses that I should stumble upon this movie today. My angels and the trickster Dibukeen have my back, always have and always will. And my cleaning lady's just arrived, so I'll have to probably interrupt this video or turn it into part 2. Let me see, how much longer have we got? She's arrived early. It's 9:38. She doesn't start till 10, but it's all good. I'll just carry on reading a bit more and then I'll go and welcome her into my abode. I remember when I first met the bluebird. I think it was in 2009 when all of a sudden a dam broke in my psyche and I was happy non-stop for 4 hours, a terrifying experience for me as I had never had such a long sustained bout of intense happiness before. My mother bought me a little bluebird of happiness. My mother bought me little bluebird of happiness earrings as a child, no doubt to compensate for the misery and trauma she both consciously and unconsciously knew she was inflicting on me. Her birthday card, which begged me at age 32 to be her happy girl again, was rather poignant. Happiness, stability, and true love. Our birthright, every living soul's birthright. I am reclaiming it, declaring it to the multiverses. Let me have my one true love and my happiness again. Please, thank you. Charlie came into my life in March 2017. He has a blue head and would have a blue chest if he would quit rejecting his own bluebirdy happiness. But he is the embodiment of love, as are Penny, Socks and Beauregard. ultimately we create our own happiness, love and meaning. And this is in response to an article, The Bluebird of Happiness on Wikipedia. No matter what, strive to be happy, even if at times you might have to fake it till you make it, people. Happiness is our birthright. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Mama T has spoken. I got up during the night, unable to sleep anyway. Sterilised a needle and popped the big blister on my tattoo. Oh, such relief after 4 days of discomfort. Even then, I still did not get any sleep until after 4 a.m. My body is fighting for survival. I am trying to just go with the flow. Intense. It's windy outside, a bit cooler, so it should be another nice day. And I'm going to end this here and come back for part 2 beginning on 22nd of February 2019, because I'm more nervous and anxious about being interrupted with inviting my cleaning lady in the middle of my video. So instead of being nervous, I'll break us up into 2. Love you all. Be back soon. Carry on being awesome, my beautiful ones. Be happy no matter what.